Welcome to Fashion and Lifestyle on Cavan TV. I'm Siobhan Harton and I'm here with Patricia Dolan. Patricia's from the Powder Room in Killeshandra, County Cavan. And Patricia's going to be talking about how to cleanse the skin and clean the skin for Christmas, for the party season. Welcome, Patricia.
Hi,
to Fashion and Lifestyle Cavan TV. Patricia, what are... actually, tell us a little bit about yourself, Patricia.
Okay, well, firstly, I'm from Killeshandra, as you said. I'm a beautician now about 8 years, and I do a lot of work with like skincare, makeup. I also do like massage, manicures, pedicures and all that. So this time of year everyone's always crazy to get their skin in good nick and looking well for Christmas and all the Christmas parties.
And I have to actually just congratulate Patricia, and I'm looking at Patricia. Patricia has a healthy glow, and there's a good reason for this. Patricia is recently married, and she's got a natural healthy glow. But Patricia's going to tell us how to create a good healthy glow on her skin for Christmas, for the party season. And what's kind of, would you be able to give us 10 kind of things that we could do for the Christmas to prepare ourselves for the Christmas season?
Yeah, well, there's probably not even 10, Siobhan. Well, your first one basically is a good cleanse routine, just to get rid of all the makeup, the dead skin cells. Your second one this time of year would definitely be exfoliation. At least once a week. Because
when you say exfoliation, what is that?
So you like get an exfoliating scrub with a mild grain in it, nothing too harsh, and you just literally scrub the skin. Some of them, they're like a peel, they go on and you leave them for a couple of minutes and then you friction them off.
And they're not too hard on the skin?
No. Well, there'll be different ones. There'll be one for the face and then one for the body. So it's one for the face that you want to be using. There'll be like a micro bead in it rather than a grain for the body.
The grain would be too harsh.
Too harsh on the facial skin, Yeah, so what they'll do now is, in the cold weather, it strips the barrier and strips a lot of moisture out of the skin. So the exfoliation helps to remove the dead skin cells, so it allows for the new skin cells to promote the growth and just gets rid of all the dead, flaky skin that's there.
Yeah, because I notice even on myself in the winter, and I hear a lot of people complaining about, is that their skin gets really dry. From the heat in the house, like for central heating. So when they go out, so is there anything that people can do with that, with exfoliation?
Well, that's basically it. Yeah, like a lot of people will use then in the winter time. It's called a serum. So you use it underneath your moisturizer. So what it does is it kind of locks in the moisture in the skin, so it just protects it from the harsh weather or the false heat. You know, like your artificial, your central heating, and then you're heating in the car, and then you're out into the cold. So they all strip the skin with moisture. So it's just trying to put it back in there. So it's the cleanse, exfoliation, and a serum. A serum, and I would also recommend a mask.
Okay. So, and what type of mask would you? Is there different masks for different skins? Or?
You can buy a lot of masks, but you don't have to spend a fortune either. Like things like an egg yolk mixed up and popped on the skin for 10 minutes. You can also use things like avocado crushed up.
So if you were to do like an egg yolk, so that's the yellow of the egg.
Yeah, and
for those non-cooks like myself.
Just mixed up and
just mix it up on the skin. Beat it up in a bowl.
Yeah, just beat it up in a bowl. Now the trick with the egg yolk is to remove it with cold water. Don't remove it with warm water because it will coagulate on the skin and you'll never get it.
It'll be like scrambled egg on your face.
Or things like avocado, honey, porridge oats, anything like that. That's good for your body, will be good for your skin as well. Okay, so with the avocado, this is fantastic because I was just talking about how to do your home remedies. So this is great. So there'll be no chemicals in this. No. So it's use avocado, mix it up in a bowl as well. Yeah, just crush it up. Crush it up. And what would you put in with the avocado? Sometimes I might put in a little bit of honey or some porridge oats or something like that and just pop it onto the skin. And just pop it on, brush it onto the skin. And how long would you leave the avocado? I'd leave it for about 10 or 15 minutes. Right. Yeah, just to get the most nutrients out of it. Then you can buy a lot of masks and skincare products, like that. So the only thing I would be aware of with buying skincare products is that they're to suit your skin. So they're for sensitive skin. They're for combination or oily or dry, dehydrated. There's no point having dehydrated skin and using products that are for oily skin. So that's just something to be aware of. And how would someone know if they have, say someone doesn't know that what skin type they have, or someone was oily and then they're, how would they know what's the... Well, usually most people will know by looking at their skins. Like a lot of people would have facials, so therefore their therapist will be telling them. Most people over the counter and chemists now, they'll be able to help you out as well. But like things like dehydration is, you'll know from if you pinch your skin and it takes it a while to go back into place, the skin is usually dehydrated. So when you just pinch it? Yeah, just pinch your skin or pinch your hand. Like most people should go back down straight away. But if it takes a little bit of time, then it's usually dehydrated. So when it just goes back like that? Yeah. that's you're
right. Okay.
Then a lot of people always present and like they're like, oh, I'm getting fine lines or wrinkles, but a lot of the time the lines along here, they're usually just down to dehydration as well.
So lines here
a lot of the time can just be dehydration.
And then how do you rehydrate your skin? Is it drinking loads of water? Are there any other ways?
Drinking loads of water, a good moisturiser for dry, dehydrated skin. Water is the basic thing though, because you've just got to like rehydrate the cells. So especially after the Christmas period, because with all the alcohol and stuff that's consumed, what happens is the alcohol slows down the liver, so it's not getting rid of the toxins, dehydrates the cells, dehydrates the skin.
So like what would be really good, like smoking is really bad obviously for the skin.
Obviously,
drinking be really bad for the Christmas season as well. A lot of people be going out partying, so that'd be really bad as well. Is other things that involve really bad for the skin? It's
really bad, but people are going to do it and that's it. So there's no point in saying to someone, don't go out and don't take a drink because of your skin, but just kind of counteract, like drink lots of water throughout the day, that when you're going out, especially the next day as well, keep rehydrated even in between drinks if you can. Then things like cutting back on, I suppose, sugary foods, real fatty foods during the period as well. Like you don't have to eat everything. I know that's hard, but you don't have to eat everything,
I've Dave in my ear going, oh, the fun things are gone to get good skin. This is what us women have to do, Dave.
So then if you are going to, make sure you're taking in like lots of green leafy veg as well, stuff like that, because it's very good for the skin as well. So
right, so what does green leafy veg?
So you're talking like cabbage, broccoli is the new miracle power for the skin. Spinach, things like even lettuce, things like that. Anything that's.
And they help put on a glow onto the skin as well. So they do.
Yeah, so they have a lot of antioxidants in them too, so they help fight off any toxins that are there.
That's right. And then you were saying about moisturiser as well, because some people have sensitive skin and some people are really sensitive actually to it. And over the Christmas season, or over actually winter, they get more sensitive with the cold and everything like that. They get cracks and everything. And what would be advice on that?
Well, basically it's just knowing your skin and knowing the product to use that suits your skin. Again, anyone that has sensitive skin will know. Now, some people are touch sensitive, so if you were to touch them or a lot of rubbing, like through a facial, they'll be red and sensitive. But after a while, that will go. A couple of hours, that'll calm down. But then being sensitive to chemicals is another thing.
So this is where the home remedies would come in good.
Or even your natural products, like things like E45, Eucerin is another one. Different things that have no perfumes, no emollients, no nothing like that.
Could go for that. And then you were telling me about another technique when putting on moisturiser at night time, a really good technique, which is a really good tip. I'd listen to this lady.
This is your eye cream, is it?
This is the eye cream.
Yeah. Well, most people, they go to bed and they take off their makeup, pop on their moisturiser, then pop off on their eye cream. But they recommend that you should put your eye cream on at least 1 to 2 hours before you go to bed, because when you put it on, you lie down, your whole system's shut down. So therefore the eye cream is just basically sitting under the eyes and it's sagging, it's heavy on the skin and it's sagging down. Whereas if you put it on an hour or two before, it's actually absorbed into the systems and into the skin and it's working. So there's a little one to remember.
Put the eye cream on 2 hours beforehand.
Yeah. So then there's just another, like for say the morning after a late night or something like that, cold tea bags are a great thing as well, on the eyes, or cucumber slices.
Oh, put cucumber slices on the eyes after, because it'll take the puffiness down.
The puffiness,
you get puffy after a night out, and there'll be loads of nights out over Christmas, so there'll be lots of puffiness going on.
Not just in the eyes.
The body.
Tea bags everywhere.
Tea bags, in a bath of tea. This is lion's tear bars will be sold out. Cucumbers. And so we're going to do a demonstration. On how to cleanse the skin. So Patricia's going to do it on our beautiful model here. So Anne-Marie Ferris from Killeshandra as well, and we're going to do a deep cleanse on Anne-Marie, a small facial, and that we can do at home. So it's going to be simple techniques. So if you want to start demonstrating on Anne-Marie now, and we're going to. So there are some really great techniques on how to get the skin a nice healthy glow for Christmas. So cleanse, exfoliate, moisturiser and serum. And so Patricia's going to do a deep cleanse on Anne-Marie now, and she's just going to get ready as we do this. So I'm really looking forward to having good skin now, and actually cutting down on the smoking and drinking leading up to Christmas, but maybe over the Christmas we'll allow ourselves to do a little partying.
Little puppy.
So So do you want to talk us through it, or do you want
Yeah,
to...
so I'm just going to start just with a cleanse, and the cleanse I have uses a little peel in it as well, so it just helps to exfoliate to keep the dead skin. So
could you use this without having the exfoliation? Could you use the cleanse just without, or would you
recommend it? Something like this, it's only got a really micro bead in it, so you could use this every day and then do a really good exfoliation maybe once a week.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. So you'd exfoliate once a week?
Mm-hmm.
Does that not kind of take away... Well, it takes away the old dead skin, but it wouldn't ruin your skin.
No, once you're not going too harsh, it takes away the old cells and it promotes the growth of new ones.
Yeah.
So therefore you're having new skin cells coming along all the time.
Okay. So you're rubbing it in. Are you doing a special technique with that?
No,
or are you
usually it's just up the way, defying gravity all the time.
Okay, so you're rubbing up the face.
Yeah. Now, sometimes if you're using cleanser and you find it gets a little bit dry, most people will add more and more and more. But sometimes if you just wet the tips of your fingers.
Okay, so you're just rubbing it in with the tips of your fingers.
Yeah.
And you're really getting it in and just doing a circular motion upwards.
Yeah, that's it.
So.
Okay, just a couple of minutes, you don't need.
Yeah.
I'm going to use sponges, but you can use...
And would you wet the skin before you put it on or anything like that? Or you just rub it on?
No, I wouldn't usually.
Just rub it on dry skin?
Yeah, just on dry skin.
Yeah.
Now I'm using sponges, but you can use just a face cloth or anything like that once it's not too harsh.
Are they natural sponges that you're using there, or are they?
No, they're not.
That's just
they're just
normal little sponges.
They're not now car wash sponges, but they're just... You can get them in most chemists or anywhere.
These are special ones for... Are these special ones for makeup, or are they for facial? And how does your skin feel now, Amory, from the actual, just the cleanser?
It's okay.
Is it a fresh cleanser? There's no mint in that or anything like that to freshen up. That's a natural cleanser.
No, it's just a natural cleanser.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just got... Well, it's with plant and fruit extracts in it, so that's basically it. And then usually I would tone, but a lot of people now don't use toner at home. They used to say that it was to refine the pores, but really basically it's just to clean off any cleanser or excess makeup that's left still there.
Oh, so, right, because it was a big thing, cleanse, tone, moisturise.
Yes.
So a lot of people aren't doing that.
No, a lot of people don't. Most people for cost-wise as well, if they buy a good moisturiser. And once you have it cleaned off well, like, you know, it's... People might disagree with me, but I don't think it's a huge problem. Like, it's only really to get off whatever cleanser is left on the skin.
Okay. So you'd use a little bit of toner and you're using it on a cotton wool rather than... So would you put much toner on, or would it be like just a little dab of toner onto the cotton wool?
If you have damp cotton wool pads as well, it will make your toner go longer. Okay, so that's a saving technique, or saving tip from Tricia. If you have damp cotton wool, so you can see it does.
Oh, good, it does.
Yeah, still some on there.
Oh wow! Afterwards.
Yeah. So I'm just going to quickly dry off the skin.
So just dabbing it with a tissue will dry it off. God, I can't believe the amount that was on that afterwards.
And then the next thing I'm going to do is an exfoliation.
Right, and this is where they have little particles in this.
Yeah.
To take off the dead skin.
See them in it. So the one I use is just like a friction one, so I just pop it on the skin.
And like that, you haven't used any water yet?
No. Not yet, only to remove.
Only to remove the dead skin. So this is all doing the cleansing of removing the skin, the top layer of it. The dead skin, yeah. And I actually have to give a little secret away about Tricia as well. Tricia is a fantastic masseuse. I know firsthand. I go to Patricia for these most amazing massages. She's a sports masseuse as well. And she's just trained, and those hands work miracles. So, yeah.
I was going to say something there.
I know, Dave's in my ear going, I'm not going there. They're amazing. That's why I come out all relaxed and then like, oh, Tricia.
So then basically you'll leave these kind of friction exfoliations for a couple of minutes on the skin. You'll actually feel them getting tighter on the skin. Mm-hmm. And what you do then is you just friction them off. If you protect the skin with one hand and then just friction with the other.
Okay, so it just peels off.
Yeah, it actually sticks to the dead skin, so then when you're peeling off the exfoliation, it brings the dead skin with it.
And if anyone had any sensitivity to skin products at this stage, they'd find it burning or something like that. So you'd wash it off straight away if it had.
More than likely, because you're using the one range, if they're going to have a reaction, they'll have it to the cleanser straight away. So you'll know before you get too far into it.
Would you do a sensitivity test before you actually start, or would you advise anyone to do that if they were buying their own products?
See, it's pretty hard to do that too, Siobhan, because if you're buying products in a chemist or anything, like a lot of places don't have samples for moisturisers or things like that, so a lot of time it's trial and error. But I would recommend most people just to go with the more natural products that you can, you know, like ones with plant, fruit extracts, botanicals, things like that, rather than chemicals. But it's just about finding something that suits your skin.
Right, okay. And like that most people would know.
Yeah.
And would the more expensive ones be the more natural ones, or would
not necessarily? No.
Yeah, because when you say Simple is another one that's quite that doesn't use any chemicals, and they're quite low in price.
And again, like I might use Simple and it mightn't suit me, but you might use it and it might suit you perfectly. It's really just about trial and error. Yeah, trial and error,
definitely. Yeah, and some you find that are too thick for your skin, and then there's age as well. Different products for different ages. So, say an older lady was coming in getting a facial, would they do this facial or?
Most of your facials are the same, but you'll just use say maybe like a different massage technique, or you'll have a different mask and different products. You know, so you'll have like cleansers and toners for sensitive skin, for dry skin, for dehydrated skin, for anti-aging products then as well.
So you test it, you'd know beforehand by looking at
you'd know by looking at the skin,
So you're actually, now you're washing off the
I've frictioned off most of it, so it's just whatever then is left on it there.
How are you feeling, Anne-Marie?
Great.
Very relaxed, I'd say.
Definitely.
You're nearly going to fall off that stool there.
Won't be long.
Okay, and then just with some I'll actually do it with some moisturiser just to save time. I'll just show you a few little massage techniques.
No, we're okay. No, you can show us what techniques. Is this like massage techniques that you're using?
Yeah, they're just like to stop where the lines and the wrinkles really happen, you know.
So that's around the mouth area, is it?
Just at the corners of the mouth. So everything should always be up the way. So when you're popping on your moisturiser at night, these are just a few movements that you can do when you're watching.
So it's actually just clasping your hands.
Just literally pinching up the skin, all up the way.
Okay. That's like a good de-stress move as well.
Yeah, so it just tones the muscles too there. And then just a little bit of rolling here. At the corner. So especially people that smoke will find that they'll have the lines there. Okay. And then it's like
that's good if a person smokes. What would be a good?
This movement actually, it's a figure of 8, so you just come up and around, take the pressure off coming down and up and around. So literally just in an 8.
And that will reduce the wrinkles around the mouth.
Yeah.
And do that every time you put on your moisturiser?
Yeah, there's no harm in doing it. You could do it 20 times a day and it's not going to cause any harm, you know?
Yeah.
And then just work up there. And then here is just a good pressure point. Sometimes a lot of people.
It's very good if you have tension headache.
Yeah.
To do that.
Sinuses and stuff like that. Yeah.
So that'd be good for the wrinkles here as well.
And then you can just do a couple of like leaf movements there on the forehead, so they'll work the lines there as well.
So if you see that leaf movements, they're kind of going in and out.
Yeah, just literally round to a point and straight back
and then up. Okay.
So you're lifting.
So you're doing like a semicircle each side and then up through the middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then just down, you can do the same at the corner of the eyes again, like at the mouth, just your figure of 8.
For the wing. And if I was to do that, I know that, like, that's completely relaxed, and I'm nearly scared that Anne-Marie's going to fall off the street there. She's nearly asleep there on us. And if a person was to do that at home themselves, would they get the same relaxation out of it?
Yeah, it's amazing how soothing your own touch is as well as somebody else. It's just about hitting the right pressure points, you know.
And I suppose that you know how hard or how soft to go on your pressure points, like yourself.
You'll know yourself.
Yeah, so it'd be a lot easier.
And then just a few little circles just inwards toward the eyes. So So that just help with the lines there as well.
And this will soothe the wrinkles around the eyes.
There, yeah.
And would that help? Is there anything that, for black bags?
Circles, yeah. Well, the next move then, Siobhan, would just be like little light pressure points. So they're actually drainage.
Okay, around here.
Yeah, so just pressing down the whole way out under the eyes.
And what would normally cause those black circles around?
Well, a lot of the time it can be down to maybe ill health, poor diet, lack of sleep. With a lot of people that take long-term medication usually are prone to suffering with it as well.
Right, okay.
So
and it'd be blocked up, so that's why you'd do the drainage there.
Yeah, it's just puffiness. It's usually just like maybe fluid retention or something like that.
And with tea bags, then tea
bags
would be good. There's the tea bags back again.
Don't put them on hot. Use them, put them in the fridge, and then put them on.
Put them in the fridge.
Yeah.
And would coffee work in the sense of, you know the way some people do facials with coffee?
Yeah.
And do no.
It's kind of a mixed idea about coffee, because some people don't. They're against the effect that caffeine has on the skin because they say it dehydrates it,
right.
And then other people recommend it for the skin. So it just depends on what side of the fence you're on about it.
Yeah.
So then.
And does tea would have caffeine in it as well.
Yeah,
so
it's whatever is in the tea leaves, whatever antioxidant are in the tea leaves is what helps with the tea leaves. So
it's like go home and raid your presses and fridge.
But especially now when people don't have money for expensive products. Idea. It's just there's a lot of things you can use at home. If you Google it, like home remedies or stuff like that.
Okay, so that's another technique to Google home remedies, and you'll get up loads of different things for to cleanse your skin, and also to be aware of what you're allergic to and what you're not allergic to as well. Mm.
So this time I'm just going to tone off just the cream that I've used there, because just when I pop on the mask, that the skin, the pores will be open and clear, so they'll get the full benefits of the mask when it goes on.
Right. So this is, you're doing now here, you're putting...
Just toning just the excess massage balm that hasn't sunk in.
And you're using two, but one person, if you were doing it on your own, you do one.
Yeah. You can use one or two, just whatever is quicker.
So it's just, again, getting the excess off.
Yeah.
So if someone wants to get a facial like this in Killeshandra, what would it be? Well, you're doing party prices as well for the Christmas
there'll be
season,
lots of offers on for Christmas, So if you call or... I'm on Facebook as well, so
it'll be the Powder Room on Facebook. The Powder Room Killeshandra, Calvin. Or if you look at the phone number, it's 049 436 sorry. So it's 049 436 886. Is that right?
That's it, yeah.
Yeah. And then if you were to get a mini facial, just say the set price, what would that be?
A mini facial starts at €25.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they work their way up then.
And a mini facial is 30 minutes?
Mini facial is 30 minutes. It's just really a double cleanse, tone, exfoliation, mask, and just a moisturising treatment, yeah. So then your longer facials, they would have maybe a 20-25 minute massage in them and things like that. So.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a lovely treat. I love my massages, definitely do.
So I'm just going to pop on the mask. So this is actually an egg yolk mask itself. So it's good for protein and just reconditioning the skin.
Okay. But you'd be equally as good to do your own egg yolk at home, like you said, to do that. So this is where the egg yolk comes in. And would you let this set for long, or?
Usually about 10 to 15 minutes for a mask, because it just allows it to soak into the skin and you're getting the full benefits of it.
And how would you know when you're doing it yourself? So you'd rub it on yourself, and would you know that it gets hard correctly?
It depends. Some of them will be setting, some of them will get tighter. This one you'll actually see it like almost evaporate into the skin, so you'll see it.
Okay, so it then becomes transparent.
Yeah. But any mask, I would recommend to leave it on for 10 or 15 minutes anyway.
And would there be any harm in leaving a mask over the recommended time or anything like that?
No.
There's no harm to the skin.
No, once you're having no reaction to it, no burning or stinging or anything like that, no,
it's
fine. And I would also recommend people, like especially when you're exfoliating and putting on a mask, to work down onto the neck and to the décolleté, because it's the first place that shows up the age, so people tend to forget about it. Sometimes they'll do the skin, but
They don't.
Won't do
And I
it.
noticed actually you didn't do any of the cleansing on the neck. Was there a reason for that?
No,
Would you do
no,
that
just
if you were...
I would normally do that in a facial.
normally
Yeah,
do
just the way we're working
Yeah.
this evening.
And you
sort of,
advise
yeah.
people to do that at home
Yeah,
as well
yeah,
when they're
it's
doing
usually
their
work.
routine.
And even down to the tops of the arms, because you'll find, like in this kind of weather, they get very dry as well, so it's no harm to work on down there.
Okay, so if you were doing the tops of the arms, you do the cleanse as well.
Yeah, I do
and
my
you
cleanse,
the
exfoliate,
exfoliation.
and my moisturiser.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'd usually leave this on there for 10 or 15 minutes
Right.
and then pop it off. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to leave it on that length of time. So now I'm put that on quite particularly, you know, but at home, like most people, just use your hands, which is fine once they're
Okay.
clean, and just rub it all over
Just
once
go.
it's covering all the places.
Perfect. And you don't put any on the eye area as well.
Not this kind of one. Now you can buy masks, particularly for the eye area. Because the eye area, the skin is so delicate and it's so thin compared to the rest, usually the products for the skin can be a little bit harsh for the eye area.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay.
But again, I actually forgot about them.
Good.
I have my ones I prepared
Oh, your
earlier.
cucumbers.
I have
And is there any
cucumbers.
thickness that you put the
No,
cucumbers
no,
through?
it
Is there
doesn't
any-
really
just do it
matter.
anyway?
Yeah. You just pop your head back to memory and literally just on the two eyes.
You just place them on. So that's even after a hard night out, drinking and going to parties, to do them the next day,
Yeah.
and you'd be all refreshed to go out
Yeah.
the next night.
Those are your
again.
tea bags. Or like if you are doing a mask at home, while your mask is on, pop them on for your 10 or 15 minutes as well.
Okay,
And it'll help
and do
refresh
that.
them.
Is
Yeah.
it, they're really soothing. I've used them before, and they're very, very soothing on
Yeah.
the eyes. So they
Yeah.
are, and that's just like a cucumber that you find in your fridge. So
That's
it is, yeah. So it's just do that. And then for actually coming up to the party season, when you're saying to rehydrate the skin again would be the water. But is there any, like when you're, is there any other ways that you could do that? Or if you're out a night out, would you advise doing cleansing the skin the night before, or you know, a few days beforehand, or that day, or
Well, really, you should be cleansing your skin twice a day anyway.
right?
Morning and
Sorry,
night.
doing this facial cleanse.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, if you're going to do a facial like this, I would say do it at least 24 hours before you go out, because sometimes you tend to be a little bit red, you know, especially after the exfoliation and stuff. So to give your skin time to calm down, usually a day or two before you go out.
Okay,
is
so
what
do
you
it a day or
recommend.
two beforehand. Yeah. Okay, and so we're nearly coming to the end here now. So you've just wiped off that, and you're going to put some moisturiser on.
I
now,
am,
is it, to
yeah.
finish it
First,
off?
I'm actually going to leave the skin damp, because it just, I find you don't use as much moisturiser when the skin is a little bit damp.
Right.
But underneath it first, I'm just going to use the serum that
the
I
serum
talked
that
about.
Which was one, yeah. And you get that serum in any
Yeah.
of the stores. And how are you feeling now, Anne-Marie?
Great.
How is your skin feeling?
It's good for a change.
Does it feel good and clean?
Does surely.
So, Trish, just before we finish up as well, Annie, you're going to give some party packs for the Christmas season, so
Yes.
as to get in contact with you with the phone number that's on the screen behind you there. And Trish is on Main Street in Killeshandra, and she's has a beautiful centre there, so she does a beautiful beauty clinic and gives wonderful massages and facials. So now you're just moisturising the skin.
That's it, yeah. Just with the serum and then pop the moisturiser over. Just one last thing, Siobhan. People tend to use face wipes all the time, especially
Yes.
younger people. They're okay an odd time or the odd party night when you're too tired or overwhelmed by how great the night was, and just pop it off with the wipe. That's fine. But when you're using them for a long period of time, they're quite harsh in the skin and dry them out. So if you can limit your use on them, you're better off with a cleanser. You know,
Okay.
or like you can get a cleansing bar, which is just as quick.
Get a cleanser.
That's just something to be aware of.
Tricia, that was fantastic, and I think everyone's going to have a healthy glow for Christmas. Thank you so much, Patricia Dolan from the Beauty Room in Killeshandra. Make sure to join me next week. I'm going to have who am I going to have next? Actually, we're going to be doing detoxing the body next week. So we're all going to be set for Christmas with the cleanse and with the body detox. I'm Siobhan Harton with Fashion and Lifestyle Cavan TV. Thank you.